Man, a cup of coffee sure sounds good right about now, right? Fortunately, our next game has plenty of cups to spare. Here's Coffee Talk.
Hi, my name is Chris Anthony. I'm the game co-writer and also story editor, and I'm also the co-founder of Toge Productions.
Hello, my name is Dio, and I am the lead artist and art director of Coffee Talk.
Hello, I'm AJ. I'm the sound designer and audio director of Toge Productions, and also the producer for the Coffee Talk.
What inspired you to make Coffee Talk?
The inspiration for Coffee Talk started back in 2017 when we did our internal game jam in the studio. Our marketing manager at the time, Fahmi Hasni, he wanted to replicate the feeling of watching the rain while holding a warm drink and listening to a chill music and having conversation with your friends. So that was the initial idea for Coffee Talk. We created like a very small prototype of the game during the game jam, and it turns out to be very well received internally, and we released that prototype demo to itch.io that received a lot of feedback from players. So we decided to continue expanding on the game and make what Coffee Talk is now today.
Why did you choose a coffee bar as a setting, and why a nighttime one at that?
One of the inspiration was a show called Midnight Diner. We're trying to recreate the feeling of a coffee shop that only opens in the midnight. The visitor can talk to the barista and share the story, just like in the series Midnight Diner.
That is the time where you feel most relaxed. We want to create an atmosphere where people can feel relaxed and they can connect with the characters in the game.
Where did you look to for inspiration on the characters' backstories? And what about their looks and races?
So we wanted Coffee Talk to be a mirror to our real world, and we wanted to discuss or at least bring a lot of topics that might be sensitive, such as like interracial relationships or maybe racial bias, immigration, and so on. So to tackle this, we basically kind of like represent human race in fantasy characters. So for example, like maybe werewolf, succubus, and also elves. We look at what are their social structure, and basically we try to compare that with real life, social groups, and also like what kind of problems would those groups experience, and that's how we figure out like which characters is what kind of a certain type of race or so on.
Why did you decide to go produce a lo-fi soundtrack with Coffee Talk?
As we know, people listen to chill hop music when they study or relax, and coffee shop is also the perfect place for people to relax. So we kind of feel that both aspects are real fit into the game. It goes along the same lines as on the reason why Coffee Talk is made in the first place, is to give players something to play and relax with, chill out atmosphere.
Do you have favorite characters, and if so, why?
My favorite one is Neil, because obviously he's an alien and he's very funny in game. I mean, I see it very amusing as he got trouble understanding people from Earth because he never knew how to communicate with people before.
My favorite also Neil, because Neil is fun to draw. I had a lot of fun while making the assets. And the second one is because he's a hilarious character and really lighten up the mood of Coffee Talk in the story.
So because everybody already chose Neil as their favorite character, I'll choose a different character. So my favorite one would be Nala, I think, because I just recently replayed the game. It's a very interesting, charming, gentle giant kind of type of character. So he is like one of the most interesting characters in the game, I think.
How big is the team behind Coffee Talk?
Basically, Coffee Talk team, the core team itself has 5 persons. AJ as the producer, Fahmi as the writer, me as the lead artist and the art director, and two programmers, which is Frederick and Jovan. And but outside the team, outside the core team, we got help from Henry, our art director in Toge Productions, as the cutscenes illustrator, and also we got help from Eka from Mojikan Studio as the background artist that we saw in the interior of the cafe, and also the brewing cutscenes. We got help too about the writing from Chris and from others in Toge Productions as well.
Finally, how pleased are you with the critical reception to Coffee Talk?
We are very happy with the reception of Coffee Talk because this is actually our first time creating a game that's focused on narrative. In our previous games, we mostly focus on strategy elements, mechanics. But this time we focus more into the narrative, the story, and how we develop the characters. Because it is our first time, of course, it's not going to be perfect. But from the feedbacks that we receive from players and also from media, it's mostly positive. So we are very happy with it. Of course, we'll try to improve in our future projects, and hopefully we could make more narrative-driven games that could be in a unique perspective or bring a lot of messages that's very relatable to players.
We're happy to see how many of the players actually made some fan arts. There are a lot of them. They are so cool. People also enjoy making the latte arts from the game. Even they become cosplayer out of the character. I mean, that's amazing.
If that game warmed your heart, you'll be happy to hear you can play Coffee Talk right now on Nintendo Switch, PC, PS4, and Xbox One.